puts up a tough shot. Bounces around. Goes in at the buzzer. Working it down to 2-1. A deep three. Oh!
It's population.
That's how you win a game.
It's population. We hustle every day to find picks. You can tell us if you want to get rich. It's population. We robbing Underdog and PrizePicks. We the best in this biz. You ain't telling us shit. It's population. We love making money quick, fast. Cooking up a team card. The whole crew about to smash. It's population. We do it for the fam, so everybody let's cash. The dopest team you ever seen. Winning money, stacking G's. Boogie setting traps, but they'll never catch me. Some people get addicted like rats to the cheese, but I got one obligation to bring Johnny to his knees. Holding back the props till the morning he knows. They'll be fishing in the shack, plotting nukes with the bros. Only withdraw, never reload. Underrated them out, amigos. We go with honest, we seeking the bloods. We know when a fucking cheat code. Party that I'm sweating, it can't be good for my health. Some might call it making bets, I call it investing in myself. I'm picking props like stocks, population for the win. Got my sips in by the buzzer now, let the games begin.
Unbelievable. Just perfect. He did it.
It's population. It's population. It's population. We do it for the fam, so everybody let's cash.
Yo, yo.
All right. Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's happy Friday, man. Doing our usual Friday afternoon stream. Quick one. Won't dive into the plays that I'm looking at right now in detail. Just try to get this in and out so we can get back to prop hunting. But I think there's some things we can target here. But first, talked about opening night of NPB last night and swept all of our props that ended up targeting. So really good night. Hit majority of the money line and run totals too.
You swept on opening night? How did you do that?
I just think the lines are too soft, and a lot of these pitchers come out on fire, and the bats take time with the timing of the pitches, and yeah, we can take advantage. Back at it tonight, man. I'm
Let's
already
go.
gonna dive right when NBA is over. I'm gonna dive in to the props and money lines because the pitchers are already announced. So
Right. If y'all want to join us, the Discord is in the description.
Yeah,
Come
and
win.
I provide all this, and I give data too on the pitchers and all that and matchup. So I love MPB. It's probably one of my favorite for betting. But yeah, let's get into it, man. First on the target list, which I think the line's pretty soft given the matchup too. Good old J-Dub here, Jalen Williams. Now with SGA out, what we saw last game is he had the highest drive rate, highest usage, highest assist potential. I mean, he was the man in the matchup, and now we get Phoenix, who give up fantasy points to the backcourt, and he's pretty much going to function as in the backcourt here. Yeah, love the matchup, love the potential. Hopefully, it can stay close and the minutes go up a little bit for him here. But I'm just going to encompass it all, take his fantasy, but don't mind his points either. Last game against the Rockets, it was at 24.5, but now we're getting it at a softer line at 23.5. But a great spot, and he was super aggressive driving. So that's first target, and then next talk about bag alert here. Bagley going against Durin. I heard reports the Wizards that they're expecting him to start and play 28-30 minutes. So if we get 28-30 minutes of Bagley versus Durin, who I've said all season and has one of the worst defensive rating of all starting centers, I love the matchup here. No Rashawn Holmes. I mean, he is the front court. Of course, they'll run Kuzma at the 5 at times too. But yeah, I'm hoping for 28 minutes here, Bagley. His PRA bumped. Okay, so I was gonna say his 22.5 PRA you can consider, because we saw when he was starting, he was racking up RA. A little bit tougher rebound spot here against Duran, who doesn't really give up offensive rebounds, but yeah, they bumped the PRA, so I'm gonna stick to the points. I mean, that's what Bagley's really good at. He's really good at pick and roll action, and he was kind of building some chemistry with Jordan Poole on the pick and roll action. I think he should rack up the points here. Next, I have Jalen Green. I know it's an obvious play because we just saw this matchup. Utah has the worst defensive metrics in every category. I wouldn't be surprised if he drops 40 points again on him. And yeah, he should absolutely torch him. I'm probably going to go with the fantasy because he's been racking up stocks and he's been getting it done with RA too. I don't want to rely just on his scoring with his point line being so high at 20.5 because we've seen in the stretch of games with Sengun out, he's cleared this 43.5 fantasy, but a couple games he's fell short with the points, like 26 points, 27 points, but he still clears the fantasy. So love him in this matchup. I mean, primo matchup. If we look at the 2-guard against Utah lately in terms of fantasy points, they are number 1 and pretty much number 1 in every statistical category for shooting guards: 3-point made, steals, blocks, rebound, assists, points. So and this is over the last pretty much the month of March here. They are the team to target if you want overs, and especially for the backcourt. So I mean, the shot volume is going to be there. We saw him, he's taking 20 plus shots since Sengun's been out. We can quickly look at his actual data. Would be blowout, but we've seen him still get it done lately because they've been blowing teams out, and he still gets the full game. Sometimes he can take a little bit to get in rhythm with the shooting. So first half, I'm a little bit nervous about. So I just want to take the full game and hope it can stay somewhat close long enough. And Van Vliet went off in that game too. He made a ridiculous amount of threes, and Utah, they are the worst catch and shoot 3-point defense in the league. But yeah, here we go. So we got FanDuel fantasy points here on the left. Sengun went down in the Sacramento game. And then the very next game against the Jazz, the Spurs, he only took 16 shots. But since that game, first game, he's taken over 20 shots every single game. And his 50 points, you can see he's had 47, 53, 63, 39, 51, 47, 63. So I mean, he's getting it done. He just had 51 fantasy against Utah. But you see here, again, still managed to get 53 fantasy points. So, I want to be able to encompass everything he's doing for the team. And you see his last 2 games, he's averaging well over 3 stocks here. So take the fantasy for him. And then next is going to be, I'm going to go right back to it. We talked about the same matchup in the history for Fox. I'm going to go right back to his fantasy. I can see a bounce back spot here. I went back and watched some of all the missed shots by Fox and what was going on. And what the Mavs did is they put PJ Washington on Fox, and they weren't it seemed like they weren't expecting that. Kind of took him off guard, and I think they'll be ready this time for that, and they'll probably scheme up things to get Fox open and deal with the length of PJ on him. So I think they'll come back hungry here for revenge in a key Western Conference matchup here. So we wanted it at 43.5 last night, and that's what we got. So
let's go.
I like it. It's 1.5 point spread. So it's just last game blew out. Mavs caught Kings on a back-to-back. Both teams are full go rested wise. We don't know the status of Luka, but I imagine he plays. Next, going to talk about Kevin Durant. So if Nurk is out, what I recommend doing is just right away having it queued up for him. I wanted his fantasy, but PrizePicks is smart. Without having the Nurk news, they're not going to give us the fantasy, because essentially went back and watched some of this their last game in Nurkout. KD was playing pretty much the 5, and he was kind of like, it reminded me of like when he was back in the Warriors, where he would kind of roam in the paint, and as a result, when you're down there in the low post like that, you're gonna rack up rebounds and you're gonna rack up stocks. And he was getting, we got fantasy. Okay, so we are getting a lot more block potential for him. He was racking up stocks, and then his rebound rate went way up too. So I would say the fantasy or the rebound here, it could be somewhat of a tougher matchup. I imagine they're going to put Jalen Williams on him, and that's what they've done in the past. And they put Dort on D-Book. So I think that's what happens. And then Casey Wallace will be on Bradley Beal. So, but I think the rebounds is a lower hanging fruit if Nurk is out for him to get that, just because how much they struggle OKC on the glass. And like I said, with KD's roaming in the paint as kind of like a hybrid 4-5, I think it just really increases the rebound chances. But yeah, the fantasy is in play too.
Now, would you only play him if Nurk is out? Are you just waiting on that?
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, if Nurk's in, you lose all that for the fantasy. You lose all that stock potential. I mean, he can still get it done, but he's essentially playing a center role. And whenever you move to center, your fantasy projections go way up. So
okay, so we're waiting for Nurk out, smack Durant.
Yeah, okay. I'll probably split it up. I'll take his rebound in one, and then his fantasy in the other.
Cool.
Yeah, I love the fantasy upside here. But you always have to worry about if for scoring getting affected by if D-Book gets hot. But I mean, D-Book's gonna have a tough matchup with Dort on him. So, and KD's back in Oklahoma, where it all started for him. So, got some extra narrative there. But yeah, you always got to worry about D-Book. But the rebounds, you don't have to worry about D-Book. Yeah, D-Book's gonna get his, but yeah, KD's gonna be kind of like that Nurk role on the glass. So, yeah, I like both. And then another one to talk about, I really want something Duren here. I mean, he should absolutely crush, but all his lines are so juiced. So, I mean, you could take a shot at the PRA, but if he gets a 29.5 PRA, because it's bumped all the way up to 29.5 now. If he gets that, I imagine it's all from RA. So, could just take a stab at the RA, but it's a great scoring spot for him against Bagley. Now with Rashawn Holmes out, because with Rashawn Holmes, when he was starting at center, their paint defense, actually, I looked at the data, their defensive rating was not bad. They were one of the worst defensive ratings all season in the paint, but Holmes was holding it down. So, Holmes is out, Bagley's not a good defender, and then when Bagley checks out and you get minutes of Duren versus Kuzma, I mean, he's just going to absolutely crush, but your paint attacks. And the one thing I worry about is the minutes, because Detroit is in tank mode. I mean, both teams are, but it seems like Detroit even more so. We've seen Cade's minutes ramp down, even Duren's minutes ramp down. His first half I noticed over his last couple games since coming back, because he was out for like the last 3 games. Prior to those 2 coming back, he was playing 13 to 14 minutes without foul trouble. And he normally would push 16, 17 minutes without foul. So we could be losing out on key minutes for such a high line. His first half PRA, which we usually target, is all the way up to 16 now, which is crazy. I mean, we always play him at 13.5. But phenomenal spot. I just wanted to shout him out. I mean, it's a great matchup here, and I would traditionally for a center take his fantasy, but he just doesn't get that many stocks. So, and it's a pretty high line without a guy who's not a stock getter. And then if Nurk plays now, so this is then cancel the KD rebounds and then just go straight to Nurk's rebounds. I think he had 16 rebounds in the first half in the recent meeting. And like I said, OKC really struggles on the glass. So he should feast. Just make sure he's not on any kind of minutes limit. But yeah, so right when we get that news, just what I'm gonna do is just have it ready, either KD's rebounds or Nurk. Just roll with either scenario. And then a hedge to Jalen Williams and would be Giddey's PRA. I mean, he's been crushing that when he's playing 30+ minutes. Good spot for him here. But I trust Jalen Williams more, and he seemed to be the main primary dude with SGA out. But if you want to, I mean, you could even take Giddey's straight up rebounds. He led in rebound chances. He almost had like center-like rebound numbers in that last game against the Rockets. So I don't mind it. But yeah, his assist potentials weren't there, so the PRA is kind of scary. And then relying on his scoring, I know he got it done, but it's Giddey. And then yeah, that's about it for primary targets. I think I had some secondary looks. I Scoot under points or PRA, probably points. I think this is way too high. He's only had like over 20 points like two times.
I like that, bro.
Last month.
I like that.
It's Miami. He can get hot from 3, but he's not a good 3-point shooter. You can get lucky, but yeah, it's a tough ass. Donovan Mitchell is making his return today too, so Scoot can be focusing on trying to guard him, pick up fouls. He is fouling at a high rate since starting without Simons out there. So I think last game he picked up 3 fouls in the first half. But the one thing about him is that he stays out there in garbage run if it's a blowout. So if you wanted, last time what we did is we took his first half under points. So let's just see if it's not taxed too much in the other direction. Let's see. And Banton has like taken over this team, right? Like he's like, no, this is my team. I mean, he went absolutely nuclear in the last game. Okay, see, that's nerfed. They caught on because normally his first half line when we took the under was 11 points, which is crazy. And then his first half PRA was like 16.5. So yeah, it's nerfed. So I would just take the full game. But the only thing I'm scared about, and why I'm saying this is like a secondary play, is that he does play in the fourth quarter when all the starters are out. So, and he gets all his scoring done then. He's had multiple games where he's had double-digit points in the fourth quarter when all those guys are out in garbage time. And then other one would be Brunson's in a phenomenal spot here. And I feel like he's due for a big game. The only thing is potential blowout, but it's in San Antonio. Maybe they can hang. I liked his points at 27.5 last night. It's 28.5 flat right now. Definitely take a stab at that, but I think he could come out, score at ease early in the game. If you wanted to take the first half, you just got to worry. You got to hope that McBride or Spurs are number 1.
You froze on us for a second.
I said if we look at the last month of March here, points allowed to point guards, the Spurs are number 1.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They're bleeding points to point guards, and Brunson, he's kind of been taking a back seat lately, and I feel like he's due for like big typical black hole, I'm gonna take all the shot Brunson game here. Great spot for him. And then the other one, I think, I mean, you can do Lucas first half again if he plays. I mean, the Kings had no answer for him. I think it's his first half. What is it? Fantasy is at 30.5, which is not bad. I mean, it gets all the way up to 32.5. I mean, it's a high line. Oh, they just bumped it. Okay, well, never mind. It was 30.5 before I got on here. So not the best value. And then checking over my notes. We talked about Harden last night, his points under due to the matchup and it being a Friday. When those splits on Fridays for him, but they nerfed him today. So I'm probably not going to play it anymore. It's went from 15.5 to 14.5. But yeah, tough matchup, slow pace, and it's a Friday where he averages 14 points on the weekend versus his normal 18 and 19 points during the weekday. Yeah, that's it.
Hey,
Like
before you get out of there, sorry.
Yeah.
Richard has a question. He just says, when you're done with NBA, do you have one play for MLB that you like a lot? If not, that's fine. But do you have one?
Yes, thank you for reminding me. I wanted to go over that. Now, unfortunately, I've been talking about this guy a lot because, I mean, I really like him. And I've been on him since prior to the start of spring training. But AJ Puck, unfortunately, we don't have a straight up strikeout prop because it's like 5.5 in the books, like massive juice on the over. You could take his live case, but I wish it was 3.5. It's at 4. But yeah, I mean, he's had a 40% K rate in spring training. He's a 6'7" lefty that just has crazy gas and throws mid-90s. And yeah, the Pirates, you can always attack him with the lefty. And I think he racks up the Ks today. He's a reliever turned starter because the Marlins have a lot of guys out with injury, so they had to elevate him. So I think he probably goes at least 80 pitches here because I mean as long as he's not getting rocked, which I mean his ERA has been crazy. He only allowed like 1 run over almost 9 innings straight in spring training. I think he'll go 80 pitches because they want to probably get him more experience as a starter and stretch him out more and more. So I don't usually play Demons, man, but I mean if you want to take that, because I think what's going to happen in the books is I think it's going to bump to 6.5 because there's been so much juice on it. Like Fliff took it down, his strikeout prop at 5.5, so they might bump it to 6.5 and put juice on the under. So you could just this would be like playing in the prop at plus money in the books, the Demon, but the 5.5 would have been really nice, or I would even consider the 6.5 for the push. But if you need some value, I think the 4.5. If you need like the pair or something, you have a play you really like. I mean, I think the Goblin is really solid here. And then another MLB real quick that I like is I really like.
Puck is 6 on Underdog, by the way, too.
There you go. That's good value. Only thing about Underdog is that if you get a push, it just it cancels the card out if it's a 2-pick. I really like Bobby Miller here today.
Sharpie was on his pitching outs. I think he was waiting for the lineups, but he was liking him too.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, the pitching outs.
That's where I was gonna go. I was waiting to see if we got his fantasy because that's what I want. Because he has so much run support with his bats. Like he should easily get the win. I think he goes 6 innings. So I wanted the fantasy, but they know they've been really stingy with the pitcher fantasy props start of the season. So especially in favorable matchups. So yeah, I mean if we don't have the fantasy, then I guess we'll have to go with the pitching outs. I think he should get through clean. The Cardinals, they don't draw a lot of pitches historically, dating back to last season. We always attack pitching outs against them, and yeah, the Dodgers are really big on Bobby. They expect a big year for him. So, and it's the Cardinals. Yeah, those are 2 MLB plays. I wish we had, like I said, Puck's straight up strikeout prop. You could either go with the Goblin or Demon, or roll the dice on his live prop, live case. But yeah,
one last question before you get out of here. Bobby Miller and Nick Pivetta at 12.5 pitching outs promo on Better. Do you like either? I guess, right? At 12.5.
Nick Pivetta and who?
And Bobby Miller. They're just giving you, good.
Yeah, for sure.
You would like Miller better, or you like both?
I mean Pivetta. See, the thing about I mean, as long as Seattle bats don't catch fire, they struggled early last night. But I mean, I don't see him getting rocked here that early to get him pulled. But you gotta remember he was a reliever that they elevated into a starter mid-season, and then they kind of eased him in, and he didn't pitch that much. So, but Bobby, I mean, he's got the softer matchup. Young guy, they want to get more experience under his belt and stretch out. So yeah, I would say Bobby if I had to choose.
Cool. Thanks.
And then I'm missing on this list. Jalen Green's fantasy.
I wrote everything down. I wrote everything down as well. So you could.
Sorry, a 6-pack. Well, we can leave KD out because we don't know if Nurk's playing, and then we'll just put Jalen on here. Either Jalen. It's a Jalen day, man. We got Jalen Duren, Jalen Green, and Jalen Williams. Just stack the Jalens and
Jalen
roll
stack.
with it, man.
Nice.
Yeah. Do a 4-pick. They're all in phenomenal spots.
That's what's up, bro. Let's get to the Discord and fix up the list.
Yeah. We're gonna chop it up on voice. Finalize our list. Post our top prop targets there, and build some cards, man.
Yes, sir. And then we got a free 7 days in the Discord if you guys want to join us today as well.
Oh yeah, and then we're gonna do like a free giveaway on probably post it on Twitter and for the Josh Hart promo.
Yeah, maybe Monday will be perfect.
Yeah, we'll give a free month away. Yep. All right, guys. Good luck. Have a good weekend. And we'll be on tonight.
Yeet.
Stream tonight. Look out for it.